The NTSB came out with emergency recommendations regarding Hawker stall checks for Hawker pilots because of the number of fatalities that have occurred, and they've been conducting them without adequate training. I'll be honest, I was never more nervous flying a Hawker than when I had to conduct stall checks. When approaching a stall, the stick shaker will activate initially. Then 2 warning lights appear when the pusher activates. The stick shaker is electric, while the stick pusher is hydraulic. For 11 seconds, the stick shaker was ignored. That's not done ever. In training, we are trained to recover immediately at stick shaker. There is a recurring problem that keeps happening with these Hawker accidents, and I'll tell you what I think part of the problem is. In training, Hawker pilots only train to stick shaker before commencing recovery, never to stick pusher. Why? Because it's about stall avoidance altogether. Why? Because the characteristics of a Hawker are bad enough that they want you to avoid getting anywhere near an actual stall. In training, particularly recurrent training in the simulator, we are taught to recover immediately upon the first indication of stick shaker. But that's not what's happening in this video either. They are ignoring their own training and continuing to fly and entering actual stalls. That's not something they even practice in the simulator. Some of you might ask, well, if you have a stick pusher, why wouldn't you train to stick pusher? Well, I'll give you the answer. Part of it is the way the training regimen is written and approved by the FAA. Aircraft such as the Hawker that have such terrible actual stall recovery characteristics do not warrant training to stick pusher because their characteristics are just that bad. It's about avoidance altogether. Here's the actual recording. Take a look at the altitude and notice how quickly it goes down. These pilots are in trouble.
X-ray Alpha Juliet, Mike Romeo, Cleveland.
We are in it. It's all recovering, sir. It's all recovering, sorry.
X-ray Alpha Juliet, Mike Romeo, Cleveland Center, stay altitude.
Until Hawker pilots are actually trained in the behavioral characteristics of Hawkers by experiencing stick pushers in the simulator, they need to stop trying to experience them in the actual aircraft, since they only train to stick shaker. According to Hawker flight manuals and simulator training programs at CAE and Flight Safety, crews are trained to initiate stall recovery at the shaker, not to allow the pusher to activate. The pusher is considered a last resort protection. So we have a trifecta of problems. Number 1, pilots are ignoring their training. During training, they are trained to recover immediately at the first indication of stick shaker. Well, that's not happening. They're continuing to try and hand fly the aircraft beyond stick shaker. Here are some pilots in a Hawker 800 XP simulator. It's almost unbelievable that in this day and age, pilots are still being required to perform stall checks in the actual aircraft. There is no other aircraft I have ever flown, Boeing, Learjet, or otherwise, where I've had to do that. The second problem is FAA guidance. The FAA has been treating the Hawker like any other jet aircraft, but it's not like any other jet aircraft. It has wet wings. It doesn't have hot wings like most other jet aircraft. And until they change the guidance and stop treating it like every other jet aircraft, people are going to continue to get killed. Here is a time-lapse clip of the removal of the leading edges of Hawker wings in addition to the inspection of many other items during a 4-year, 48-month check. And number 3, industry practices. There is no other corporate jet in which the pilots have to take up the actual aircraft to do stall checks. If you're going to mandate that pilots actually perform this type of check, then you have to change the training in order to prepare them accordingly. They are not receiving that training. They are being treated like every other pilot who doesn't have to do them at all. And that's not okay.